Hi, welcome to SPCE 610, Behavioral Consultation. I'm Jennifer Cullen and I'm the content specialist for this course. You also have an instructor unless you're in my section of 610. This is the person in charge of your course. They are your instructor. You will contact them if you have questions, if you need clarification, if you're having problems with the course. They are the one in charge of your course. The content specialist is available if you have trouble in relation to tech problems with the instructional content, or if your instructor does not respond in 48 hours, or if you need additional assistance beyond your content, your instructor. However, please note I will contact your instructor when you contact me to get more information if needed. So please reach out to your instructor for most things in the course, and then if you need additional assistance, contact me. You want to be sure to view the information in Module 1 carefully, along with the syllabus in relation to academic ethics and academic misconduct. What does it take to be successful in 610? 610 is definitely one of the busiest courses in the program, but it's also one of the ones in which you get to put into practice the things that you've been learning and put into practice the things that you will do as a BCBA. So I think it's a very critical course, and we want all students to be successful. So what can you as a student do to be successful? First of all, you want to schedule time to work on the content. Realize this is an online course, so you should be spending those 3 hours that you would normally be in a course. That is designed for specific time on the instructional content. It does not include assignment time. In general, you want to budget 3 hours for the instructional content, and then typical grad school requires 3 hours of work on assignments for each hour that a course is worth. So this is a 3-hour course, so you should be scheduling about 12 hours a week for this course. It may take you more or less, but in general, that's a good time estimate. You want to use the provided materials in learning content and completing assignments. Some of these materials may be different than what you're using in the field. For example, when I was a teacher, we had an FBA form that you really just filled out without doing direct observation, but that would not be appropriate for this course. So if you want to use something that you're using currently in your job in the FBA, you should really check with your instructor first. You want to communicate respectfully with faculty and peers. Use professional writing, use a respectful tone. Also, give enough time for response before emailing other people. Sometimes things get sent to junk mail or they get grouped with other emails, so if you don't get a response right away, email your instructor back. Also, it is important that you use your Ball State email for communication in this course. A lot of times the students use 2 or 3 different email addresses. It's hard to remember how you answered a question. So use your Ball State email exclusively. I know a lot of times that means you have to sign on to Ball State email when maybe you're on your work mail or Gmail, but it really makes the course run much smoother. So that is a course requirement to use your Ball State email. You want to collaborate with the peers in your small group. The only way that everyone will get a high grade on the group project is working together. Everybody has to participate. You want to communicate regularly with your small group. In fact, you'll be meeting weekly. That's one of the first things you'll decide. And you have a planning log and activities to complete each week for this project. You want to engage with the content. These are activities that you will do in the field, so you need to master them. You need to master the content. When you take the BCBA exam, a lot of these concepts are part of many of the questions. So you can't just learn it to get a good grade on the test or just to finish to get your certificate for that week. You need to learn the content to master it. Seek help when needed early. We can help you a lot more in week 2 than week 15. If you shut down and just stop doing any work and then you contact us in week 15, it is really hard to help you at that point. We want to help you succeed, but you must have the drive to do so. You must have the time to commit to this course, and you must reach out if you're struggling. Asking questions to get help, that will work much better than complaining on Facebook or to coworkers or complaining in your small group. We're here to help you. We want to help you succeed. And you need to submit assignments on time. When you don't submit things on time, you're not ready to submit them in later. A lot of the assignments build on each other. And so if you've missed earlier parts, it can be hard to catch up. It can be hard for the other students in the course if you don't post to your discussion board. So be on time with submitting assignments. Here's the course description. We have 2 textbooks for this course. Each week you will complete a module plus a final exam. So here's the layout of the course. You've probably already seen the syllabus. If not, you need to review the syllabus and the course calendar. If you notice, there are colors here. Yes, those are discriminative stimuli that are there in order for you to know which parts correlate. So you'll see the color coding in both the course and the syllabus, even with the course directions. This is just another way to help you. We've tried to lay out this course so you can find the materials that you need. You'll see the course resources link at the top and also within each module. And then if you're having trouble finding something, you can see in the course content modules, you can see the list of everything that's inside of there. So that will help you if you're struggling to find, okay, where do I turn in the mock interview? Just look for module 2. It says mock interview under folder 2. So that is also designed to help you know where to find things. At the top of each module, you'll find an overview, and that will also have the list of the things that are on that page. You'll also see objectives for that module, and then to get started. The to get started section has a link to the guided notes, and it will have a list of the readings you need to do for that course, and if there's an article, it'll have a link to the article. So what are guided notes? Guided notes are designed to help you as you're reading and watching video lectures. They are optional, but many students find them helpful. It's designed to help you know what's critical in what you're reading, because you will do a lot of readings in this course. You will also notice that we provide information about the reading strategy you need to use. So is it something you need to skim, in which you really just need to know the big idea? Or is it something you need to read for detail? So you will notice on the guided notes that we specify. A lot of times with video guides, you'll have blanks and you just fill those in as you watch the video. Again, this is designed to help you know what's critical, but also to help you focus while you're watching the video. Each module also has an instructional content. In this, you'll see pictures, text, videos, and activities that you must complete in order to get the credit for the instructional content. Please know you may have to scroll a little bit to get to the instructional content. You can see on this page that you can see the words next page at the bottom. If you cannot see the words next page, you see next page at the bottom. If you cannot see the words next page, then you may need to scroll. To scroll, you'll kind of hover over this area, and there will be an arrow that you can use and then move down the page. This one actually doesn't have where you move down, but you'll see later. After a lot of videos, so again, this just shows you the next page again. If a video asks for your name, you need to enter it. This is just designed because instructional content sometimes has multiple parts. So if you have a tech issue and for some reason uh, didn't get all the way to the certificate, we can at least look up to the point to where you finished. But if you don't enter your name, we can't go back and look at anything. So anytime it asks you for your name, you need to enter it. And then at the end, you'll get a certificate, and you'll submit the certificate for credit. There are a lot of questions under the video, so if you've seen a video, you should scroll down and look and make sure there's not questions below it. If you don't do the activities that are sometimes at the bottom, then you won't get to where you can earn the certificate. It'll automatically give you a 0 for those. You will also do a conversation on collaboration. That's just a discussion board, basically. You'll be doing some discussion boards just with text, and there'll be the first week there, it's all a video discussion board, but you'll see more about that in Module 1. So there's a link in each module with the prompt associated with that week. Then each week in weeks 1 through 8, modules 1 through 8, there's also prompts associated with your group project, your collaboration and consultation group. I know some people are afraid of group projects, but in a course on consultation and collaboration, it is especially critical that you get to practice those skills of collaboration. So we intentionally include a group project with multiple parts so that you can work on those collaboration skills. You're going to have to collaborate in the field every day with multiple individuals from multiple professions. So learning to do it while you're still getting your degree and your BCBA is important. You'll also have items associated with your FBA and consultation project each week. Every 3 weeks or so, you will submit part of it. So each week it tells you what you should be working on for that week, and if you're submitting that week, or if you just need to work on the item for the next submission. Realize a lot of these items require multiple days, so that's why we specify what you should be working on that week, because if you wait till week 3 when you need to submit it, you don't have enough time a lot of times to get the data that you need. So pay attention to those directions. So for example, here's the part where you're submitting it. Now let's talk about course resources. Again, that is at the top of the course content, and then there's a link at the bottom of every module. In the course resources, there's information on APA style. You want to make sure that all of your assignments meet the criteria for APA style. So these resources are designed to help you. There are rubrics for some of the projects. There's also directions. Oftentimes there's a PowerPoint with more information that gets you ideas for tools. And you'll notice for the group project and the FBA project, there's a folder because there's multiple materials associated with that. So you want to use those resources. I recommend going through those resources to see what's there. Here's the grading for this course. This is also in the syllabus, so you can look at it in more detail there. Here's the grading scale. Please note you have to get a B or a minimum of 84% in order to meet the prerequisite requirements for other courses. Please make sure you're thinking about this as you're completing 610. Final grades are not rounded up. You cannot come back in the last week and say, I'm only a point short of my 84. Can you round it up? Or I'm only a point short of an A. Final grades are not rounded up. You get the grade that you earn. So you need to put the work in to get the grade that you want to earn. Realize also feedback is often given in rubrics. So make sure you know how to look at feedback given in rubrics. Same thing, we give feedback in exams. A lot of times there are a couple of steps you have to click through in order to see the feedback. We spend a lot of time giving feedback on essay questions, or there's feedback built into multiple choice, and that's designed to help you learn from your answers on the exam. Please do not share your feedback in any way with anyone else. That is feedback designed for you. If you share that feedback with others, or you post it on social media, then that can violate the academic misconduct policy. So look at your feedback. It is for you. Late assignments are in general accepted only at the discretion of the instructor. They do have a grade penalty associated with them. Incompletes are only given under extreme circumstances and only with proper documentation. Here's what you do each week. We've already talked about that a little bit when we did the course layout. So your collaboration and consultation group, again, you're going to do collaboration activities from modules 1 through 8 and turn it in module 9. In this group, you will also work with a partner for the mock interview and reflection. You have to participate in the meeting in order to get credit for that week. Material can come from videos, readings, assignments, or the content folder, and it's designed so you would spend 1 minute or so on multiple choice questions and 30 minutes or so for the essay questions. There is a timer showing, but the exam will not automatically submit. So you need to make sure you submit it within the hour. You can use your notes and textbook, but it is designed so you do not have time to look up every question. You're not going to be able to look up information on the BCBA exam. So this is designed to prepare you for that. There is also a required final exam worth 30 points plus up to 10 points extra credit. It has multiple choice and essay questions, and there are case study documents associated with some parts of this exam. So we do give you 2 hours for the final exam. Please pay attention to the final exam dates. For your FBA and consultation project, and again, you really need to look at the course resources to get more information on this project. This is an actual FBA and intervention plan development. This is not mock. I know 609 was mock. This is actual. You will find a child or adult client to work with. And you will have 1 to 2 consultees. Who is a consultee? Generally, a parent, a teacher, another therapist that will assist you by being interviewed 3 times. These interviews are different. They're done at different parts. You need to look at the course materials associated with the interviews to know the questions that you should be asking. The interviews come from the Sheridan book. Your consultee may also help with implementation. They may also do IOA data collection. If your client is an adult, they should be a part of this process. If they're their own guardian, they need to be the one to give consent. If they're their own guardian, they should also be one of the consultees. You will conduct an FBA and develop an intervention that matches the function of the behavior. You'll be writing this report throughout the semester. We do provide a template. You can make changes to that template, but I do recommend using the template so that the formatting will follow what's expected in the course. You may not use materials submitted in a previous class. Pay attention to the syllabus information about using the same client you've used in a previous course or that you will use in another course this semester. And you cannot copy and paste anything. It has to be all new text. Failure to do either one of these can result in referral to academic ethics for plagiarism. You also need to contact your instructor. If you're planning on using anything that you have submitted in a previous course, even if you're repeating 610, you need to contact your instructor. Look at the syllabus for information about this. Here's the timeline for the FBA project. You're going to submit and assign modules. When you submit Later parts, you're going to submit the previous submissions. So when you submit part 3, you're going to submit parts 1 and 2 also. There is a rubric. If you look where you submit the FBA project, in Module 15, you can view the rubric for the FBA project. So the FBA is on a client and you're working with consultees. You will have the opportunity to change your own behavior though through the behavior contracting project. You do this project on yourself. You create a behavioral contract on a behavior you want to target. So what behaviors have students used in the past? Almost anything. We've had students target less social media use, drinking more water, studying more, studying for the BCBA exam, walking their dog 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. So really, you're just going to target a behavior that you want to change in yourself. You're going to look at the readings on behavior contracts and create a behavior contract. Each week from submission of part 1 to part 2, you're going to use the journal link in the module in Blackboard to journal about your progress. Then you will screenshot these journals and submit them with part 2. Part 1 will consist of your behavior contract. This should be a signed behavior contract. Your target behavior definition should pass the dead man's test. So you're not going to use something like will not get out of your seat during class or during a video lecture. Will not get out of your seat during a video lecture. That does not pass the dead man. A dead man will not get out of their seat. You want to define your measurement system in part 1 and the contingencies. You will make weekly journal updates and screenshot those and put them in part 2. Part 2 will consist of the written contract you submitted in part 1, your printout from Blackboard of journal entries, and your final write-up describing your results and your analysis. Why did the results turn out the way that they did? What worked? What didn't work? What would you do differently? What have you learned about behavioral contracts from this process? Again, the group project, there's a whole PowerPoint just on the group project and the course resources. So this only gives you a brief snapshot. You need to look at the group project materials. Everyone must participate each week in the meeting. You can divide and conquer parts of this project, but you all have to have work in or be visible actually in the training video. You can see the course resources for examples and templates. It has changed a little bit though, so make sure you're paying attention to current course requirements. There are formats suggested in the tools section, PowerPoint on the group project materials, but some things people have used in the past are Google Hangout, creating a PowerPoint, and again, you can have screenshots of what people have done in the training video or a credit slide to show if not everyone's going to be present in the video, you just have to indicate what they did. The mock interviews completed in your collaboration consultation group, you need to divide into pairs. If you have an uneven number, again, this is an opportunity for collaboration. Figure out if somebody's going to work with 2 people or if you're just going to rotate, how everyone is going to manage to get their mock interview done. It must be done with someone in your group. You can either use the needs identification interview from Sheridan or the pinpointing method in Cipani. You can do a phone call or a Skype call. You may want to record it because you're going to create an overview transcript. It doesn't have to be word for word, but in general, we should know what happened in the interview. Each person is going to take turns being an interviewer and an interviewee. So when you're an interviewer, you're going to pretend to be a consultant or a BCBA interviewing a parent or teacher. The person being interviewed or the interviewee will make up the problem behavior. You will create a document with the overview transcript, a reflection on your overall performance as a consultant interviewing a parent or teacher, and then a target behavior definition. Make sure you include examples and non-examples and that your behavior is measurable. For the ABA guideline on behavioral contracts, you're going to submit this in the module indicated in the syllabus. Look at the ABA guideline PowerPoint on how to do guidelines. A guideline is 1 to 3 pages. You will include an overview of the research, 1 paragraph maximum. A paragraph should not take multiple pages. If you have multiple pages just for the overview, you will lose points. You need to indicate who and what the strategy is appropriate for, steps for implementation, include sample materials or a description of materials, how you determine if it's successful, and this can be written paragraphs or bulleted. Again, look at course resources for guidelines. If you have questions, remember, contact your instructor first. If you have tech issues, contact your instructor or the help desk. So with the instructional content unit or the video lectures, you can contact me. You may want to try another browser first. Sometimes just using another browser will help. Have a great semester. We look forward to this semester with you.